So what we're doing here is we have a Harbor Freight um, 3-ton jack, and we're just going to go through and open up these valves that control, the flow. Of course, a piston just goes up and down and just does whatever these valves do. But of course, this is how you lock it in, and that just unscrews. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to take out a ball that's in there because you see it, and of course, sometimes there's something else in there. But what you do is take a magnetic screwdriver or the like, as long as it fits in there. And this valve here, which just opens and closes uh, the pump action, has nothing more than a ball in there. And of course, you close it, and it runs that ball against that little hole that's in there. So it's got one ball, one yeah. Actually, this is a medium ball, but that's about all it's got in there, except the oil, obviously. So it just closes it. I mean, it uses a little ball, uh, and that's it. Anyway, first thing you do is start tracking every single hole that you mess with. Okay, so we have one little ball. Okay, and here, these other ones control the flow. You know how much you have to watch it because these control how much your piston can actually hold and be safe. So you don't mess with these. Now, what you do is remove the top little cover, and in there, close it and count the number of turns that there are. So on the right, we have, there you go. So you go in there and, count the number of times that you go from. It's good to put a black mark on the screwdriver so that you can track, and also a specific point where it was, and track the number of turns to bottom it. Now, on the right side, on the 3-ton jacks, the Pittsburgh jacks, it's 2.25 turns to bottom it. Okay, so what you're going to do when you put all this back together again, you're going to close it all the way to the bottom and bottom it, and then we're going to come back and go 2.5 turns, 2 turns and a quarter, and leave it there, and then top it, put that little cap on. Anyway, this thing unscrews, so the bottom one you have to unscrew it just like the other one. It's pretty long. Okay, so you keep turning and turning and turning, and of course we're going to have to take out what's in there, and again you're going to have to write down exactly what's in there and the order that it's in there. Okay, so we're going to come back and just tip it over and catch it with your finger. Okay, and what you're going to see there is the spring. Well, take the cap off. Yeah, It's pretty deep in there, just like the shut-off valve. Okay, so it's deep in there. It screws all the way down there, and of course it holds the you know, on the right side. Let's see, it's got the cover, and you can tell that there's a spring in there because of that little lip that it's got in there, or that little nipple. Okay, so there's the screw. I mean, yeah, and you can't always pull it out with the magnetic screwdriver or the like, so you have to go one at a time. And on the right, it's got the spring that goes under there, and then you just have to do one at a time to make sure that there are no ball bearings in there. It might have one, it might have two, you know. So, and again, on the right side, it had one little ball bearing. Okay, that's on the right. So it's got the spring and the ball bearing, the little ball bearing, and that little bolt. Okay, so you know, take a little, you know, Q-tip and clean it out. And that's probably the best way to do it, because there will be oil in there and you don't know exactly what's down there. So kind of take it out with a Q-tip and make sure that there's nothing else in there. Again, it could be one or it could be two ball bearings if there's a spring there. So you know. Okay, so on the right side, on the small piston, it's got one little tiny ball bearing. And just make sure you can't really see the little hole that's left there, and that's what it is, just a hole. It's got a ball bearing, and the ball bearing is what am I using the right words? Ball bearing? The little ball. It's not a bearing, it's a little ball. So that's it on the right side. And make sure you have a nice, you know, flashlight to see down in there, so that you don't, you know, miss something or spread something out. So, okay, should be a little hole at the bottom, and that's it, because that's all they do. They, you know, they use this, you know, this method. So, yeah, clean it out. You know, Q-tip may not be the right thing, but it works. You know, it might be a little piece of, you know, fiber in there left over, but you know, it'll be caught on the screen that's in that piston, that large piston. So again, it's one ball bearing, the spring, one ball, the spring, and then the top bolt, and that's it. And it's 2¼ turns open from the bottom. So there you go. That's it there. Okay, so now the other side, again, it's a It's just a little cap there to keep the oil out. Nothing more than a cap. Again, clean it out and do this slowly because you don't know what's in these jacks. On this jack, you know, it's going to be different than other jacks. They're all different. Now, why they have in some of these two ball bearings, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of interesting that they use two ball bearings on some of these. I don't know exactly what the engineering there is. Okay, so we start. Again, it's better to have a mark, a starting mark, and a mark on the screwdriver, so you could make sure that everything is exact. Because you might do it wrong and it won't lift us. It won't lift much, or the other way, it might lift too much weight, and then it becomes dangerous. So jack stands always are a good thing to have. Okay, so again, that one was the same as the one on the right. It's 2 1/4 turns to the bottom. 2 1/4 on both sides. And it's just a matter of what else is in there. So again, there's that little nipple bolt, and sometimes you can pull these pieces out with a magnetic screwdriver. Sometimes, again, you have to just turn it over and do one at a time to make sure that you have the right order. Just in case, don't ever there's a spring. Don't ever just turn it over and watch everything come out, because you lose your order and then you're in deep trouble. Unless you watch a video like this where you know exactly what's in there. But some manufacturers use a different scheme. So this one was large enough where the magnetic screwdriver got it. But you can't always do that. And again, there might be some oil in there, so you got to keep cleaning, make sure. I mean, it's slow to do it this way, but again, if something comes out of a sequence, when you put it back in there, it's not going to work. You might have put new O-rings on there or whatever. Everything's perfect, and then all of a sudden you find out that something was out of sequence, and you're in deep trouble. And sometimes these manufacturers are different. I think these jacks here, the Pittsburgh at least, are Long Beach jacks. And there's another thing that's going to come into play here. There are different size O-rings, different size from standard to metric. Okay, so when you go choosing an O-ring and you find out that it's slightly too small or slightly too big, then you might want to try the metric. This is for using standard first. Switch over to the metric, and then On top of that, if they are too thin, okay, then your next bet is to use AC O-rings. Those green O-rings, those are a little bit fatter, bigger, you know, same size except they're heftier. And sometimes you know just you have the wrong size, so switch over to AC, automotive AC O-rings, those green O-rings, and those will do it. Okay, just in case you can't get a kit for these. So that's the three types of O-rings that you can try. I mean, that one of them will work, and in most cases, you'll end up putting an air conditioning O-ring in there, and it'll work. Now, when you're messing with this kind of stuff, and you have oil involved, any kind of oil, you don't want to go with rubber. You want nitrile. Nitrile O-rings, or oil resistant. And if you use a rubber O-ring, uh, the the rubber in oil expands. And if you don't already know that, it will expand the O-ring. So you might start having some problems. That's why things like nitrile O-rings and ACO rings are much better to go in there. Okay, so now in reverse, you got to put everything back in sequence. Again, on the right side, there were two ball bearings. I mean, ball bearings, uh, and then the spring, and then the the bolt here to run it in there, and again on the way in, it's going to be to the bottom, and on this particular jack, it's 2.5 out. No, 2.25 out. So again, it's going to go all the way to the bottom and then come out. So all the way to the bottom. Okay, so we're going all the way to the bottom, and it's a lot of turns. I mean, probably a good idea though, a good engineering design. A lot of screwing. Okay, now we're gonna go 2.25. 2.25. Right there. Okay, now that one's done. There you go. Make sure it seats perfectly. Then the spring. Okay. Make sure it's right on the ball. And then, here we go again. bottom it out. All the way to the bottom. And now, just like on the right, on the left, you go 2 1/4 turns, which is really neat. They're the same. Others are not the same. They got different. Some are 3 and 2 on the other side, or 2.5 on the other side. So, just again, got to write every little thing down and put the covers back on. And again, there was nothing wrong here. It's a matter of sometimes just got to go in there and make sure that it's nice and clean, because any sort of gunk that's in there will change what's going on with your jack. So, I mean, you don't have to take this whole jack, out. You can do this kind of stuff. Well, actually, no, you can't, because you can't turn it over. So, yeah, gotta remove it. And the jacks have 2 springs, and 4 bolts at the bottom, and 1 cotter pin that holds it to the body of the jack. And this one here, again, it's the ball, and that O-ring sometimes fools you, because this one here is a little bit deeper, so you have to push in, which is a good thing, that it wouldn't go in, because the O-ring is good. And again, sometimes, in fact, in just about every jack, the 2-ton small jacks, you have to use an air conditioning green O-ring for these, because sometimes they leak, and again, it's only got 1. So